What's up guys, it's DJ back again with another video. Today we're going to talk about risk versus reward in Pokemon investing. Cue that intro, let's get this thing started. So guys, welcome back to the channel. I thought we'd talk about this because it's something that we don't really talk about that much. We always talk about supply versus demand, modern versus vintage, PSA cards versus sealed product, all that goody, little topics that we like to talk about. But what do we do about risks that we take in investing and the rewards? Like, do the rewards outweigh the risks or vice versa? I think it's a good thing to talk about because we talk about it with other things like stocks, shares, other investments, properties. We always look at the pros and cons. We look at, is it a good thing to do this? Are there more pros than cons in buying this product with the hope of, long-term investment? So let's go ahead and talk about that. I think I've explained a few times what investment means, but I'll just do it real quick because I don't want to waste time. But it's about putting time, effort, money, and energy into a product or someone or something like yourself with the hope of growing that thing or yourself, getting profit, growth, pretty much, yeah? And we want to look at the risk that you take with buying Pokemon cards, investing in it, and, will they grow in value, how much you spend. So we're going to talk about the money, we're going to talk about the time you put into the risk that you take when you put time into this hobby. All right, so we're going to start with time, effort, and energy. I'm going to loop them into one category, and I think money will be a separate thing. So yeah, let's get started. So guys, the risk that you take when you do this hobby, when you are really engaged in it, the time and effort you put in it is really hard to calculate. And it's different for everyone. It depends how much you're into this hobby, or I spend about a couple hours a day, maybe even more. I think about it a lot every single day. It takes me time to create content like this, or think it up and write a script kind of thing. And just generally looking up prices on eBay, looking on Facebook Marketplace for deals, Instagram posts, it takes a lot of effort, time, and energy out of somebody's day to continue to do this, because you can't just wake up one day and be like, hey, let's look up the prices here, and then that's it. It's a daily thing. You check it every single day. You look at the prices, you look at the market, you watch YouTube videos, how many hours and minutes you spend watching people's videos, and for those people to create those videos, it takes a lot of time. And I guess the only risk there is you could be spending that time on something else, something more potentially more valuable. You could be learning a language, you could be reading a book, you could be going to the gym. There's all these other options. Now, that is the risk and that you take with time and energy and effort in this hobby. But I'm here to tell you, it really depends on, who you are as a person. But for me, I don't consider that a risk at all. I know, you could say that about anything. You could spend your time and efforts on something else. You could trade this thing for another hobby. You could trade this thing for learning a language or going to school or going to the gym or whatever. But, at the end of the day, what you want to do with your time and how you want to, put your effort and your energy into something is totally up to you. So I don't think there's, it's a hobby. If you love it, then why not spend your time? Why not spend the extra energy and all that effort that you put into this hobby? Why not put it in that? Because you love it, you like to do it. And you could really say that about anything. If you go to the gym, sure, you can, you're looking at improving yourself, improving your figure, gaining more muscle and all that stuff. But instead of that, you could replace that with Pokemon. You could always switch it for something else. But if you choose to spend your time on this and that's what you really want to do, then why not? I don't see a problem with that. I think a lot of us really don't talk about the risks in time and effort and energy because we already know that You know, what you do with your time is up to you. And if you really like doing this with your time, looking at eBay prices, watching YouTube videos, and, you know, learning about Pokemon investing or learning about Pokemon, or just really interested in this hobby, then, you know, that's up to you. You know, I find that there's little risk in that. Yeah, you can spend a lot of time with this. You could probably use that time to spend with your family or your daughter or your wife. You know, I work a lot, so doing this YouTube channel is like extra, in a sense, extra work, another couple hours a night, you know, and that's time away from my family. But they know I like this, they know my passion for this, and I'm going to keep this going because I like to do it. So if there comes a time where I don't really like this, you know, this scene anymore, then yeah, obviously I wouldn't do it anymore, because when it becomes work, then it's like, it's not fun. For me, this doesn't feel like work. People ask me, bro, you work like a 10-hour shift, and then you're going to go home, record a video, edit it, you know, you're going to spend another 2-3 hours doing that. You know, that's like working 12-13 hours a day. But for me, I don't look at that. I just don't look at it like that, you know? I don't see my time being wasted. I don't see my efforts being wasted on this. Even if I didn't grow this channel, even if I don't get subscribers or, you know, watch time, for me, this is for me, you know? I do it for you guys, but I also do it for me. So at the same time, that's what I think about the risk with time, effort, and energy in this hobby, or with investing. You know, if you're looking at prices, trying to buy, you know, really good deals, and trying to look at flipping cards, that takes a lot of time and effort. But if you enjoy it, even if you make $1 profit, $2 profit, $5, it doesn't matter. If you had fun doing that, then yeah, keep going. So guys, I think we spoke a bit about the reward with time, effort, and energy. It's about what you get out of it. So that was the risk. You could be spending your time elsewhere, but the reward is your happiness and doing what you love to do. So I don't think I need to go further into that. I've kind of like, you know, fused the two in one. So let's talk about money. What is the risks involved with money, and what are the rewards? Let's go. The risk that you take with money is pretty much you're buying products, these Pokemon products, you're keeping them sealed, or, you know, you got your cards graded, or you got PSA graded cards, whatever it is, Pokemon products. And the real risk there is you spending a certain amount of dollars and not ever being able to get your money back from that, you know? So it's funny, right? So people talk about, oh, I bought this Charizard for $100 last year and now it's worth $500. You know, that's a great return of interest. But if it was the other way around, you know, if it was, I bought this for $50 and now it's only worth $10, or, you know, it's worth nothing, do you care about it? And that's, you know, that's where the collector and investment mentality, you know, coincide. The collector, like usually for a lot of us investors, we are collectors first, then investors second. So we don't always think about the money. I can only really speak for myself and a few others that I know, but that's what seems to be the trend in this hobby. A lot of us started off as collectors and then we worked into be investors. So, I mean, these values that we put on these cards, oh, that's a $10,000 Charizard, that's a $5,000 card, you know, that's the values of it right now. But if they were to drop tomorrow, if they were meant to be like worth nothing the next day, would we care? I think some people will care, and some people will just be like, that's cool, I still like this card, you know? And those people that say, I still like this card, I still like this product, I don't really care, my bind is worth nothing, you know, that's me, you know, that's what I like. So do I feel that that's a waste of money? No, because I bought something that I liked. Get what I mean? So this is the risk here for me in regards to money is once again low, because I'm buying the stuff that I like. Let's say you buy a video game, a PlayStation 4 video game. We already know most of the time you buy any video game, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and you know you're playing it. Once it's pre-owned, once you've used it already, it's lost its, you know, original retail price. A lot of video games cost $100 when you buy it, and then a year later it's worth $10. You know, but do we care about that? No, because we enjoyed the video game. We liked playing that video game, all those hours, all that time spent playing that video game, hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, 100 hours. It's just, it doesn't matter. We don't care if it's worth $10 the next day. The experience that you had, and this is, where it links to Pokemon, the experience you had collecting, the experience you had buying those products, the chase, the fun, the opening packs, the gamble, we like that. So the risk there, once again, for me personally, I don't see much of a risk there with the money. Like, if you think about money a lot, you might see that risk, or you might see it differently. Your risk could be a lot higher. You could be like, ooh, I lost $5,000. This hobby is not really like stock, shares, and property. That is really black and white. You see your stocks go from $50 to a share to $10, and you just see that as like, dang, I lost $40. But if your value of your collection really drops the next day, because these prices do fluctuate, and a lot of the time it depends when you bought the card or where you bought it or whatever. There can be times where you see a drop in price. So how do you feel when they drop in price, or when your collection's worth not as much as it used to be? For me, I don't really mind. So you can let me know in the comment section below if how you feel about that. But I find that the risks in money don't really matter to me. Honestly speaking, I don't care. And you know what? At the end of the day, the reward is my happiness and your happiness. If you like to keep things sealed, and they're worth something later down the track, that's happiness to you. You might not like to open packs. You might not like to open vintage bags. I don't know who doesn't like to open vintage bags, but a lot of us talk about the price, the money. Are you happier to keep those packs sealed, or are you happier to open those packs? So it's really up to you as a person, as an individual. What do you like to do? And I think the risk versus reward argument here depends on you as a collector / investor. So like I said, the risks for me, I don't see much of a risk. I don't care if everything, I don't really care. All the time I spent on this channel, all the the money I spent on my products, I don't see it as a waste. I don't regret it, and I think that's what you got to think about. The reward for me is a lot higher than the risks. I don't even really consider the risks, but I did see other people talk about this risk versus reward thing I've seen comments on other YouTubers' channels, and I need to talk about this because I find it quite interesting, because some people really see the risks out there, the value drops, and I totally understand if this was something you're pouring your heart and soul into, and you really want to see the growth and you just don't see it. And if growth's that important to you, I guess you might not be in the right scene. I'm not telling you to drop Pokemon, but there's other investment places that you can go to, and things that you could do with your money and your time and your effort, if you're really worried about growth. With Pokemon, I feel like you really just gotta love this hobby, really like just being a collector at first, and if you do like that and you start investing, kudos to you. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, you just got to ask yourself, are you happy with what you've got? I see, some people buying things that they don't necessarily like, but they just see, oh, it's a Charizard. Charizard's investable. It's good money maker. I'd buy that. But you got to think, if you, as a person, don't really like Charizards, then why buy Charizards? I know, at this point of time, and history says that Charizard's a great investment. You can make a lot of money. It keeps growing, blah, blah, blah. But, I always think about the reward. Am I going to be happy with a Charizard collection? Or would I rather my collection right now? Would I rather one, really good Charizard card, PSA 10, and to trade everything I have right now for one really good, popular, really good investment card? I still wouldn't do it. Even if my collection was worth half of what that card is. If SM Pratt came up to me today and said, here's my Pikachu Illustrator, give me all your cards, give me everything you have, I still wouldn't do that, I know you can get a lot of money out of that, you can sell it, But this is my collection. I grew this from scratch. These cards I also grew up with. I've had in my collection for 20 years or so, especially the vintage binder that I have. So it means something to me. So what I'm trying to say is, right, and I don't know if I've gone off topic or not, but it's funny. Sometimes I do in these kind of videos. But, you know, with your vintage stuff or just all your cards, even if people say that card's worthless, that's $1 card. That might be worthless to everyone else, but to you, that could be worth millions of dollars. And that's why I see these collections on eBay and stuff. You know, they're going for like $5,000 and no one's buying them because they're like, oh, that's not worth $5,000. But to that person who's selling it, it could be worth that much to them, you know? When I value my collection, I can see a lot of potential there. You know, if you're looking at the real values of things, what's the real value? So there's emotional value and there's the actual real value. And we already know our emotional values are going to differ all the time. Someone might value a base set Charizard at $10 because they don't care about Charizard. And for other people, Charizard lovers out there, they're like, you know, this is actually a $10,000 card, which it could be. I don't know. But yeah, you can see the difference between emotional value and the real value that people sell cards at. So that's where I'm at, guys. Rewards are a lot higher for me. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you find, you know, there's more risk in this hobby than there is rewards? Or, you know, pros and versus cons? I guess you can kind of, you know, say they're the same. But reality is, my happiness, you can't buy happiness, you know? And a lot of people say that, but you just can't. And I just wanted to put one more example there, you know, with movies. You just don't know what movie you're going to get. It's like opening up a pack. You know, you see, ooh, Terminator 6 is coming out. I've seen all the other Terminators. There's a chance that this Terminator is not going to be really good, but I'm going to go watch it anyway because it's part of the franchise. I'm going to spend my, you know, $20 on that ticket, and I'm going to spend 2 hours of my time that I probably won't ever get back. I won't ever get back because I'll be in that cinema watching that movie, and it could be either really good or it could be really bad. So you're taking the risk there with your time and your money. But are you willing to take that risk for, you know, potential happiness? Why not? You know, nobody complains about that. Nobody complains about seeing a bad movie or a good movie. They do complain, but they don't say, ooh, you know, I really wasted $20 and I wasted 2 hours of my life with that movie. Because, you know, they do say that, but they had to see it. You know, they just had to risk it. They had to watch it to make a decision for themselves. You know, like if other people say that was a bad movie, I don't always believe that because that's their opinion. You know, I might actually like that movie. Why do I come up with these examples? Anyway, guys, that is all from me. Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in 2 days' time. The next video I have will be a juicy one, I think. And a vintage video very, very soon coming on the channel. Darkness Ablaze very soon on the channel. That is all. See you guys next time. Blah, blah, blah.